In my previous review of Halo Infinite, I didn't get around to making some points I was planning on. You know, forgetfulness and whatnot. But I also got around to listening to others' criticism of Infinite since I was keeping myself spoiler free for a couple of years. This gave me some more perspective. Now that I'm out of the honeymoon phase, let me share some additional insights of mine. I want to revisit the level design of Halo Infinite's campaign. Upon reflection, I've realized my praise was too generous. I primarily criticized the open, non-linear sections while giving the linear parts a pass simply for being linear. However, it is important to consider these levels in a vacuum. The game's repetitive nature and lack of variety became apparent after some introspection. I sort of touched on this in my earlier video concerning the visuals, but it's worth exploring more. While there are various types of arenas and the open to narrow philosophy is frequently applied, the missions lack those standout moments we remember from past titles such as Halo 3's memorable Scarab encounters, or breathtaking set pieces such as High Charity and New Mombasa. Unique missions are rare in Infinite as many missions blend together. Only a handful like Worship Gabrakan, Pelican Down, and the House of Reckoning truly stand out, while the rest feel monotonous. This repetitiveness makes me contemplate uninstalling the campaign after a few more playthroughs. This game's story is non-existent. For a game that circle jerks heroism hard, you don't really do much to earn that reputation. There are no stakes, nothing going on at all. You are stuck on the ring and you haven't gone anywhere or done anything by the time the game ends. The Banished are oddly overzealous for what they are. The Harbinger is stupid, and I couldn't give a shit about the Endless who, get this, are supposedly more of a dangerous threat than the Flood. The Flood, whom the Halos were created to deal with by wiping the galaxy clean of sentient life. Yup, you heard me. This squid species is more deadly than the all-consuming parasite. Trust me, I'm not that guy who only cares about graphics at the cost of everything else in a game, but there are some legitimate concerns here. First and foremost, the lighting in Halo Infinite leaves much to be desired. The real-time lighting and day-night cycles seems more like a gimmick than a worthwhile addition. 343 attempted to address the myriad of issues it brought with a post-launch RTX update, but it is just a band-aid solution to such a deep-rooted issue. I believe there is an absence of physically based rendering in Infinite. PBR is a technique used to create realistic material shaders and is expected in contemporary games, yet Infinite seems to lack it. This highly affects how metals appear in-game, making them resemble rocks more than genuine metal. This issue might stem from the seemingly low-resolution textures, even on high settings, and yes, I have the HD textures installed. The reason I'm pointing these issues out isn't because I consider the game ugly. It looks fine, at least we got the classic art style back. But you have to remember that in 2018, the first teaser we got of Halo Infinite at E3 promised so much more than what we got. It was blatant false advertising. They pulled the same shit with Halo 5 twice, once with the marketing for its campaign, and then after the game launched, Bonnie Ross promised us split-screen co-op going forward. I can forgive mistakes, but when promises are broken so many times, I cannot. And remember, this game was supposed to be the platform for Halo for the next 10 years. The Slipspace engine, which is outdated and fundamentally broken. So I've had the opportunity to play more of Halo Infinite's multiplayer after I uploaded my initial review. I still think it's alright. I think what's preventing me from getting hooked on it has to do with the deeply flawed sandbox. Take the starting weapons for example. They are too strong. The assault rifle needs a range reduction, and while I love the concept of the sidekick, it is too strong on its own. Maybe reduce its bullet magnetism because it's way too easy to get headshots with this thing. Just mag dump someone who isn't too far away from you with the pistol and you're bound to get a kill. The battle rifle is a joke of a utility weapon. It does not respect your skill at all. The recoil 343 is so obsessed with giving the battle rifle makes it so that you get free headshots for aiming at the easiest part of the body. What would have been a timely 7 burst kills reduced to just 4. The lack of skill required is so blatantly obvious that in Season 3, 343 added the DMR to the game, which is a weapon I personally dislike. It is a weird solution, honestly. Just fix a goddamn BR instead of adding a gun that... Like, why does the game have 2 utility weapons? It doesn't make sense. The sniper rifle is impossibly difficult to use in a very artificial way. It is very awkward to scope in with the mask overlaid being quite claustrophobic. The Bulldog has no character. Half of the equipment shouldn't be in the game. The quantum translocator is fucking broken. Like, it's game breaking, honestly, and it has absolutely no place in Halo. Teleportation should only be part of map design, not part of the player's arsenal. And even Bungie, because right in Halo 1 and kind of in Halo 2, they had a lot of teleporters on the maps, but going into Halo 3, they kind of ditched that, right, and in favor of man cannons. I mean, look at Blood Gulch versus Valhalla, for example. Valhalla replaced the teleporters to the middle with several man cannons. Dynamo grenades are unfair. If someone tosses one at you, it is very hard to tell where the grenade actually is, and its effects are underwhelming, unlike the flame bomb, which telegraphs itself in such an obvious manner. The vehicles are still absolutely irredeemable with the exception of tanks. And one of the core pillars of the Golden Triangle, melee, has been just messed up and screwed with completely because of the lack of player collision. Custom games suffer from a lack of options, which has contributed to the decline of the custom games browser despite how amazing of a tool Forge is and the amazing maps that have come out. Skill-based matchmaking can be overly punishing when you try to step out of your comfort zone and should be adjusted to allow players to enjoy different playlists without feeling overwhelmed. SBMM is also detrimental when playing with friends of varying skill levels. Not only is matchmaking rather sweaty, but also broken. I deeply apologize for the comment I made on my last video, where I glossed over the fact foreigners are having a hard time getting games because I am someone who lives in a foreign region who is fortunate enough to reliably get into matches. It was both patronizing and completely unacceptable for me to do. The party system is absolutely broken. I kept running into an issue where my friend and I would queue up into a game, and then he would only get into the match. We tried different fixes, such as restarting our games, switching the party leader, but the outcome never changed. He would load in and I would remain on the menu. I don't get how games like Halo 2 and COD 4 launched so many years ago and have perfect party and lobby systems, but modern games can't. I want to say a few more things about this game. The live service and monetization model used here will forever, just like with Halo 5's Rex, be an ugly stain on this game. No matter how much time you give this game to improve and fix itself, the credits, store, and battle passes will eagerly wait for your return. A personal gripe I have is with the way achievements work. I beat Halo Infinite on Legendary, but since my internet decided to randomly go out, I did not get the achievement for it. Mildly irritating, this game's Legendary is not nearly as difficult as something like Halo 2 or even Halo 1. I would say it's most similar to Halo 3's difficulty. Vehicles, Jackal Snipers, those Red Hunters, and the boss fights were the only challenge, honestly. I would like to see how this plays out in a firefight scenario, with certain skulls enabled in the near future. My opinion of Halo Infinite hasn't significantly worsened, but I've had more time to reflect on its various aspects. It stands as an average entry in the franchise. In terms of single player, Bungie's previous entries are superior in my opinion, but it definitely outshines the Reclaimer saga. Its multiplayer does have potential. The issue is that it is bogged down by so many little issues. Yeah, So those are more thoughts I've had on Infinite after another 2 months actually. Wow, would you look at that? I've been writing this script and video for a while now, right? These longer videos, they shouldn't take as long as they do, but like it's just like so much, and like sometimes I get sick and tired of them, and I just like get annoyed of them. But I'm pushing right now because I have another project I want to do, so I need to shove this out as quick as possible. So if this video seems a bit rushed, my bad. I just need to get this done, right? So 2 more months of me playing Infinite, and this video are just additional thoughts I've had on it, right? Even though like I wrote the script a month ago, which is why in my script it says 1 month ago, right? So anyways, expect more Halo related content, especially with season 5 just around the corner. I appreciate your continued support, and I'll catch you on the next one.